So in the last session, we discussed about the analysis of tension members, and we discussed a numerical regarding analysis of ISA, that is Indian Standard Angle, and with respect to bolted connections. In this today's session, we will be discussing about staggered bolting that is zigzag bolting, and also we'll be discussing analysis with respect to welded connections. Clear? So moving on to today's question, the question here is: determine the design tensile strength for a plate 160 cross 8. It is a rectangular plate, not an angle section, connected to a 10 mm thick gusset plate, that is GP, using M16 bolts as shown in the figure. The figure is prescribed in the question that we'll be seeing. The yield stress of steel is 250 megapascal, that is Fy, and Fu is given as 410 megapascal. Yeah? So this figure is given in our question. So this bolting, as you can see here, is called either a staggered bolting or a zigzag bolting. Up till now we have discussed and designed number of bolts, and we have identified bolts in a similar line or a straight line. This is a typical sum regarding staggered bolting. You won't be designing anything such as this, but regarding analysis portion, the things can be asked pertaining to this. Clear? So this type of question is known as a staggered bolting or a zigzag bolting. As you can see here, total there are 6 numbers of bolts, and they are prescribed in a zigzag manner. As you can see here, the namings is being prescribed from A to F. This horizontal distances is the edge distance, the end distance or the add distance, and the center one is the pitch distance, that is P. So it is already been given in our question, E and P, and this vertical distances is our gauge. Here, that is our gauge distance. So here we will be always considering the gauge distance to be the center to center distance between our bolts. So for this sum, our gauge distance will be 25. That is our center to center distance between bolts. And now we will be moving on to the solution. The width of plate is given in the question as 160, and the thickness of plate is 8 mm. So moving further, the diameter, that is diameter of bolt is 16. So the diameter of hole in this case will be 18 as per our IS code. We have to take clearance of 2 mm. And Fi and Fu are given in the question. So of course the first thing that we'll be finding is the TDG, that is strength due to our yielding or gross section. Clear? So for that we will be using this equation, that is TD equal to Ag Fi upon gamma m0. Now here it is not an angle section, so we will not be taking the gross area from the steel table. We will be directly using the dimensions and plotting our area. So in this case, Ag will be length into width, that is breadth into width. So Ag here will be 160 into 8. Fi is given in the question. Gamma can be obtained from page number 30 of your IS code. So solving everything, we get TDG, that is our gross design strength, to be 290.91 kilonewton. So this was our first step. The first step will always be to find our TDG. The second step will be to find TDN, that is net strength or strength due to rupture. Keep in mind, the last session we discussed that it was pertaining to single angles, and this session is regarding to our plates or rectangular plates. So the equations will vary, and also it is given as a staggered bolting. So how to proceed further? So the next thing will be to find strength due to rupture of net section. So here from your page number 33 of your IS code, you have to use this equation to find the net area, that is AN. The main equation for TDN is given in page number 32, that we will be seeing further on. But in that case, the first thing will be to find net area of the connection, that is net area of our plate. And for that we will be referring to page number 33, and this equation, that is AN, will be using it. As you can see in the figure also, the staggered bolting or zigzag bolting is being mentioned. So this equation is only applicable whenever a staggered or a zigzag bolting is given in the question. So here the parameters are B, that is width of section, N, that is number of bolts, DH, that is our hole diameter, and this PSI, that is our pitch. Clear? That is staggered pitch. S stands for staggered and P stands for pitch. So staggered pitch, sigma stands for summation, and divided by 4G. G is our gauge distance. So how we'll be calculating it, we'll be seeing further on. So there are 3 things we need to focus upon. We always need to look upon paths. So how to create or generate a path? The first path will be our normal path that is an equal to, using this equation we will be getting our first case. And how we obtain the first case? For that we will be referring this figure, that is this figure we will be seeing upon the this figure is already given in the question. So this staggered bolting will be dividing into different parts or different paths. We will be always starting from the outermost bolts. Keep in mind, we will always selecting the first path to be our outermost bolts, and we will be taking the vertical path. So our first path will be ABC. This will be our first path. Clear? So we will be taking this cross sectional area, and we will be finding that area on this line as I mentioned here. Clear? So as you can see here, area is length into thickness. Thickness is given in the question to be of 8 mm. So here you can see it is 8 mm. We just need to find the effective length. Clear? So for effective length, the total length is to be concerned. So the total length is given in the question as 160. So 160 is being prescribed, and in this path, that is in path ABC, how many bolts are, or how many holes are being drilled out? So total 3 bolts are being drilled out in this path. So there will be deduction of 3 holes. So minus 3 into 18 gives our net area from the first path, that is ABC. Clear? So this will be our first path. Now we will be selecting a second path. Whenever we are dealing with a staggered connection, we will be dealing with paths. Now keep in mind, while selecting path, the outermost bolts or outermost holes should be included in each and every path. Again, the outermost holes should be included in each every path. So the first path was ABC. We have included the outermost holes. So now the second path here will be ADEC. That means we'll be going this way. ADEC. This will be our second path. Clear? Again repeating, the outermost holes should be included in each and every path that you mentioned in our zigzag bolting. Clear? So this will be our second path, and now the staggered pitching will be coming into picture. So the equation was AN was equal to B minus NDH plus sigma PSI square upon 4GI. Now this part, that is the summation portion, we have not indulged in the upper part because all the 3 holes were in similar line. Clear? It were in vertical line, so there was no staggered pitching in this. Staggered pitching is only available when there is movement horizontally in direction. Clear? So in this first path there was no staggered pitching, and in the second path that we'll be dealing with is ADEC. Here staggered pitching will be coming into picture. So how to find that? First of all, width will be same, that is of plate. So the width will be 160, thickness will always be 8 mm. So the change will be occurring in the middle portion. Now here the number of holes. So as we incorporate, we are taking this path. So total 4 number of holes are being taken in our part. So N will be equal to 4, and DH will be our hole diameter. So it will be deducting minus 4 into 18. And now we'll be looking upon PSI. PSI, that is our pitch, and pitch is already given in the question as 40. So how many times are we shifting our pitch, or how many times are we shifting our section? Clear? So that will be our answer. So here as you can see, we have started from point A. So while moving from A to D, this will be our first staggering. Clear? While moving from A to D, this will be our first staggering. Then will be moving from D to E. Here we have traveled a vertical path. So while traveling a vertical path, there won't be any staggering. So again the total cumulative staggering will be 1. Then from E we will be jumping to C. Again we have moved horizontally. So whenever we are moving horizontally, it is called a staggered. So the cumulative here comes out to be 2. So in this path there are total 2 staggerings to be covered. Clear? And each staggering is of pitch, that is 40 mm. So here we are dealing with number, that is sigma will be equal to 2. Clear? Again repeating, staggering will be the movement or the horizontal movement that will be dealing with the bolts. So the total staggering, that is the total pitch, comes out to be 2 into 40 square divided by 4G. G again it is 25 for each and every hole. We won't be summing up, it is just the difference or the distance between 2 consecutive bolts. The distance between 2 consecutive bolts in each and every path is 25 mm. So the denominator will be 4 into 25. Clear? So in this way we will be solving our second AN, that is for path ADEC. It comes out to be 960. Now we will be moving to our third path, and the third path will be ADFEC. Yes, this will be our third path, that is ADFC. Again the outermost hole should be incorporated in each and every path. So this will be our third path, that is ADFEC. Now during this path we have covered 5 holes. So there will be deduction of 5 into 18. And how many staggerings have we covered? So we will be looking upon that. We started from hole A. So moving from A to D, this will be our first staggering. D to F again horizontally, so this will be our second staggering. Then we'll be moving from F to E, again we are moving horizontally, so this will be our third staggering. And then we'll be moving from E to C, so there will be total 4 staggering stages in this case. Clear? So the sigma in this case comes out to be 4. So the answer will be 4 into 40 square. The denominator will be the same, that is 4 into 25. Gauge is 25 for all and multiplied by thickness. So this is how you calculate a net area for a staggered or zigzag bolting path. Clear? So these are the 3 cases that is possible. So out of these 3 cases we will be always considering the smaller value. Clear? Out of these all 3 cases we will be always considering the smaller value. So the smaller value comes out to be 848. So our final answer for AN will be 848. Now this AN value will be substituted in the equation that is mentioned in page number 32. So moving on to page number 32, you can see here 6.3.1 is mentioned for plates. And we will be finding TDN from this equation. So we will be solving this equation. AN will be the smaller of these 3 cases that we just obtained. And calculating everything, the answer comes out to be 250.33 kilo Newton. Clear? Now keep in mind, whenever there is a zigzag bolting or a staggered bolting being prescribed, there is no need to find block shear, because while finding block shear we need to find TDB for all the 3 parts. Clear? And it will be a sum pertaining to either 28 or 35 marks. So it is not asked in your GTO examination. So whenever your staggered bolting or zigzag bolting question is being asked, you just need to do up to TDN path. Clear? So TDN will be our final step, and then we'll be substituting the value of TD. So out of these 2 cases, that is TDG and TDN, the smaller value was of TDN. So the final strength, that is TD, will be equal to 250.33 kilo Newton. Again repeating, block shear will not be calculated for a zigzag or a staggered bolting. Clear? So for zigzag or staggered bolting, the TD will be always the smaller of TDG and TDN. So this was our sum pertaining to our zigzag bolting or a staggered bolting. Now we'll be moving towards our second sum of today, that will be for a welded connection. Okay? So here the question is, determine the tensile strength of an angle. Again, angle is being prescribed of 100 cross 75 cross 6. It is an unequal angle connected by a gusset plate, connected to a gusset plate by 4 mm weld. That means the size of weld that we have seen in the previous chapters, that S, capital S, the size of weld is given in the question as 4 mm. So at toe and back, as shown in figure, again the figure is being prescribed in the question. The yield strength is mentioned in question as 250 megapascal. So this figure is being prescribed in the question. As we can see here, this will be our longer leg, this will be our shorter leg. It is as it is given in the question that the longer leg is connected to our GP. So this will be our shorter leg, and these welds in the previous chapters we used to find the length of weld. Clear? Now here the length of weld is already been prescribed. You just need to find the total strength it can carry. So the length of weld at toe, this portion is always called the toe of our angle, and this portion is called the back of angle. Wherever there is a 90-degree formed or a right angle formed, it is called a back of angle, and this is called a toe of angle, technically speaking. So here the length of weld is given as 140 mm, and here the length of weld is given as 310 mm. The thickness of gusset plate is given as 8 mm in the question. So moving further, we will be finding total 3 things. The first thing will be to find TDG, that is gross strength. Second, we'll be finding TDN, that is strength due to rupture. And third, we'll be finding our block shear strength. And final answer, that is TD, will be the smaller of these 3 cases, just as we did in bolted connections. But this is a welded connections, so the values will be something different. The steps will be the same, the equations will be the same, just the values will be considering somewhat different. Clear? Now again, keep in mind, whenever there is a welding being asked, you always need to find the CG of it. Clear? So for CG purposes, the distance that will be taking is considered to be CZZ. You can take CXX as per our steel table, that will be good. So the first thing, while starting our sum will be to find the area, that is gross area, and our center of gravity. Both the things, that is gross area and center of gravity, can be obtained from our steel table. So moving on to a steel table, as you can see here, ISA 100 cross 75 is mentioned, and this first row is for our 6 mm thickness that we have described here. So as you can see here, the area is being given, it is given as 1014 mm square, but as per our book it is taken as 1010. You can still take it as 1014, that will be no issue. The minor change will be in decimals regarding our final answer. And the CG, now CG will be calculated from this column, that is center of gravity. There are two center of gravity being mentioned, one is CXX and second is CYY. We will be always considering about the XX axis, so our ZZ will be XS as per our steel table. Clear? So our value will be 3.01 centimeter, that comes out to be 30.1 mm. So this will be our data that will be calculating or finding from our steel table. Now moving on to our first step, the first step will be to find the strength that is governed by yielding, that is TDG. So this equation can be obtained from page number 32, and TDG value AG will be 1010. You can still take it as to be 1014 as per our steel table, and the final answer comes out to be 229.55 kilonewton. Now second step will be to find the strength due to rupture. So the strength due to rupture can be calculated from page number 33. Again, this is an angle given, so here we will be using the equation of single angles, as we have discussed in the last session, that was for bolted connection. The same things will be using, but this time it is for a welded connection. So the first thing that we'll be finding is the parameters regarding our the beta. So beta equation is this. So for this we'll be finding our terms. The first term will be to find W. W is the width of outstand leg, as it was given in the figure itself, that 75 mm leg is the outstand leg, so our W will be equal to 75. Next we'll be finding the T. T is given in the question as 6 mm for angle. Fy, Fu is already given in the question. So now we will be moving on to a third part, that is the calculation of BS and LC. BS will be our shear leg, and shear leg in this case comes out to be 75 mm. Now how this value came? For that we will be moving to page number 33. There we will be seeing figure number 6. This left hand side figure was for bolted connections that we have seen in the previous session, and this right hand side figure is for welded connection. So this we will be seeing now. So for focusing on the right hand side figure, you can see here that this is our hidden part. Our hidden part is our gusset plate. So the plate or the angle connected to the gusset plate will be our longer leg. So this is our longer leg. Again repeating, this will be my longer leg and this will be my shorter leg. And as you can see here, BS will be equal to W. It is mentioned here that whenever we are taking or we are using a welded section, BS will be equal to W. And W, you can see from the figure itself that W is the width of outstand leg. So for our welded connection, BS will be also equal to 75. That is our width of outstand leg. Clear? And the next thing will be to find LC, that is length of connection. So in this case, length of connection comes out to be this. Now how this value came? Again, we need to see the figure pertaining to it. For our bolted connection, we used to take the length of connection, that was the distance between our first bolt to the last bolt. Clear? That was our distance between first bolt and last bolt was our length of connection. But in terms of welding, again repeating, in terms of welding, we will be always taking the length of connection to be average of these two lengths that are being prescribed. Clear? So the upper part, that is the welding at toe, was 140 mm and the welding at back was 310 mm. So we'll be always taking the average of it, and the whatever value getting, we will be taking is to be our length of connection for every time that we'll be using our welded section. For welded section, length of connection will always be the average of the two welds that we'll be providing on the top and bottom end. Clear? So we'll are getting everything here. So substituting everything in the term, that is for beta. For beta, we will be substituting everything here, and the value here comes out to be 1.207. The value of beta comes out to be 1.207. Again repeating, you always need to check two cases. The first case is that the value should always be greater than 0.7 as prescribed in our IS code, and as 1.207 is greater than 0.7, the first case is satisfied. And second case is that it should always be less than or equal to this term, that is Fu gamma m0 upon Fi gamma m1, and this value will always be equal to 1.44, which we have already seen in the last session. So the maximum capacity or the maximum range will be 1.44. So our value, that is 1.207, falls in this range. So the beta that we have provided is perfect and the calculation of beta is correct. Clear? So now we'll be using this beta to find the value of our TDN, but for that we'll be requiring again two parameters. The first will be requiring ANC, that is net area of connected leg, and the second thing we'll be requiring is AGO, that is gross area of outstand leg. So the first thing will be to find these two areas, and for that we'll be referring to our figure again. So this longer leg will be our connected leg and this will be our shorter leg. Now for welded connection it is very simpler than the terms that we have used for bolted connection, because in bolted connections there were holes being drilled. So as there were holes being drilled, we had to deduct the hole diameter from it. But regarding welded connections, we are not drilling any holes in our angle sections, so there will be no deduction and the values will be directly implementing in it. So ANC, that is total length. So the total length was 100, as we have seen in the previous session, that this part is overlapping in both the sections, that is a longer connection and shorter connection. So we will be always taking the length up to the diagonal. So we will be deducting the half of it, that is half of the thickness, and so this part, that is bracket part, will be our length and this will be our thickness. So length into thickness gives our area. This will be the net area of our connected leg, and the gross area of outstand leg, again we'll be using this part, that is our outstand leg. So the total length is 75. Again this portion is overlapping, so we'll be dividing it by 2, minus 6 by 2 multiplied by thickness gives our gross area. So this is how we will be calculating our net area and gross area in terms of welded connections. So now we have obtained every parameters regarding the term TDN. So the next thing will be to calculate TDN. TDN comes out to be 290.31 kN. So the two parameters we have found out. The first thing was TDG, the second is TDN. Now we'll be moving to the third parameter, that is TDB, that is block shear, design strength due to block shear. So for finding design strength due to block shear, we'll be using these equations that is given in our page number 33. This will be our TDB1 and this will be our TDB2. So TDB1, TDB2, but again keep in mind, as we are dealing with welded sections are very easy as compared to bolted connections, because in bolted connections there are holes being drilled out. So whenever holes are being drilled out, there is a difference in the gross area and net area. But whenever we are dealing with our welded connection, there is no need to drill any holes, so the gross area and net area will be same. So here in this case, AVG will be equal to AVN and ATG will be equal to ATN. So there is no need to find 4 parameters. We'll be always solving 2 parameters, that is gross area and that is gross area due to shear and gross area due to tension. So for this we'll be referring to our section. Again keep in mind, whenever we are dealing with our welded connections, you always need to keep this statement in mind, that is in case of welded joint, thickness of GP is taken. That is means we always need to take the thickness of GP whenever we are dealing with the welded connections in the terms of the area. So area will be length into thickness, and thickness will be always taking the thickness of GP for finding the block shear. We won't be taking the thickness of 6 mm, that was for angle section. We always will be taking the thickness that is 8 mm, that is prescribed for our GP, that is gusset plate. Clear? So the length of connection that we have already obtained was 225, so we have substituted here. So the values will be found out from this case, that is the toe portion. This is the plan view that we have been seeing. The toe portion, as it is given in the question, that the length of welded toe was 140 mm and length of welded heel, or you can say back, was 310 mm. So as you can see here, it is mentioned. So the TDB1 value was first thing we'll be finding, that is AVG. Again V, that is shear. AV will always be our shear line, and shear line is always horizontal line. Now in the bolted sections we plotted 2 lines, that is AB line and BC line. Here that won't be any line that such as AB line and BC line, but just keep in mind we will be dealing with 2 parts. One will be horizontal and second will be vertical. So for shear we'll be always considering the horizontal lines or horizontal dimensions, and for tension we'll be considering the vertical dimensions. So as you can see, in the upper part we have a length of 140, in the lower part we have a length of 310. So for finding the AVG and AVN, that is a shear area, will be always using the average of these two things, and the average of these two things was LC. Clear? So the length will be using for area, that is area of shear, will be always LC. So here you can see that we have used 225 into 2. Why 2? Because wells have been provided on both ends. So here also we'll be using 225 mm as our parameter, and here also we'll be using 225 as our parameter. Clear? So 225 into 2, that is our total length. 8 will be our thickness. Again repeating, thickness will be considering for GP, not the R angle that I will prescribe. Clear? So this is the area, this will be our Fy, and ATN. T will be our tension line, and tension line will be always vertical. So here the vertical line will be taking between the two wells. That means the vertical line that will be taking will be the distance between our two wells. So the upper well and lower well. So this distance, that is the distance between our upper plate and lower plate, will be 100 mm because it is the leg dimension. The longer leg dimension is 100 mm. So the distance between our upper weld and lower weld, that is a weld at toe and weld at back, will be 100 mm. So this total length will be considering as our tension length. So tension length will be 100 multiplied by thickness 8. So this will be our ATN here. So now we'll be finding the value of TDB2, and TDB2 will again the same parameter. The net area and gross area will be the same. So we'll be getting this value. Now TDB will be the smaller of these two cases. So the smaller of these two cases comes out to be 708.54. So we have calculated three parameters: TDG, TDN and TDB, and final TD will be smaller of these three cases. So the final TD will be our TDG that we have seen here. So the final TD will be 229.55 kilonewton. So here our answer completes. But whenever in the question, if it is asked to find the efficiency of joint, then what to do? So the next thing that we'll be seeing is to find the efficiency of our section or efficiency of our tension member. So to find efficiency of tension member, the equation that we'll be using will be always TD upon TDG. That means we will be comparing with our gross strength here. TD will be the value that we have obtained here. TDG we have already calculated it, and as it is in the percentage value, it will be multiplied by 100. So here the answer comes out to be TD. TD was already the value that we have prepared, it was for TDG. So here the efficiency comes out to be 100%. And why so? Because since there is no reduction in the area in the welded connection, the efficiency of member is not reduced. So in most of the cases, not in all cases, but in most of the cases for welded connections, the efficiency that we'll be getting for our plate will be 100%. Whenever the efficiency will be decreasing, it is mostly in the bolted sections because we are drilling holes in it. Yeah. So whenever in the question, if it is asked to find efficiency, this will be the procedure how you will follow it. So this was also pertaining to our welded connection, and this will be our exercise problem. As you can see in your question bank too, that tension member questions have been asked frequently. So it will be better for you to solve the questions that I have described here also and in the question bank also, because methodology of all the sums are same, just the values are being different. So it will be helpful to you for practicing also. Yeah. So the next session will be discussing more topics regarding it. Thank you.